It is live. It is up and running.
All right. All right. So we're gonna be talking about Christmas, and there's some mixed opinions around it. I mean, overall, it's a pretty liked holiday. I mean, I'd say it's a pretty invalid opinion to not like it. In my opinion, pretty frowned upon. It's not common that people don't like Christmas, but you
Uh,
know, we'll
I'm
get into it.
I'm accepting of my unpopular opinion.
I mean,
It is
that's
what it
fair.
is.
But I mean, we're gonna figure out why. Maybe change your mind. Possibly, you might change my mind. Who knows?
All right. Well, I got some bullet points here on why I think Christmas is a bad holiday.
All right, all right.
All right. So my first one is it's terrible for the environment. Christmas causes way more waste and just like contribution to landfills than most other times of the year. People are much more wasteful around Christmas. So,
I mean,
not much to do with the holiday per se, but more how people act and just the amount of waste that people do around the holiday season.
that's fair. But a counter offer is most of the things that are used during Christmas, such as like the wrapping paper and cardboard, are recyclable.
That's true, but there's all sorts of decorations like those stupid little plastic stringy things. You know how those end up
The
everywhere.
plastic. That's You're right. You're right. But that's kind of up to choice, though.
That's true. That's just people being
That's
lazy.
that's that's being a little nitpicky there. That's
Yeah.
really up to the person. I mean, obviously it happens because there's a lot of lazy people, but you know,
That, that
it's not everyone. It's
that
not
was
the
a bit of
main
a
point in the holiday.
yeah, that was a bit of a nitpicky point. But following up with that, you have to pretend to like presents to not hurt people's feelings. Absolutely one of the worst parts of Christmas, getting something you don't like and having to pretend to like it after someone just spent a bunch of money on it.
Okay, I mean, I guess that's fair. It is very awkward for sure, but I mean, it's really like Christmas is more than just about the presents, you know? I mean, obviously, kids only really look forward to the presents because they don't really understand the meaning of Christmas towards the end. But I mean, if you're just looking at it from a present standpoint, I mean, that is un- unfortunate. But at the same time, like, I feel like depending on your relationship with your parents, you shouldn't be getting gifts you don't want.
I agree with
Or
that.
like,
That's
because
definitely
like
true.
especially when you get older, there's very little that you want. So usually it's like one to maybe like five things, and usually involve just getting money. And I mean, it's kind of like if I get a bunch of money, but then I also just get socks. Like, I mean, obviously, like I'm not overjoyed with the socks, but like I'll take them. Like I'm not hating on the socks.
That's valid, but I just think the risk is there, and that's one of the things I don't like about Christmas is exchanging the gifts when you're both just spending money on each other that you both could have just bought the thing for yourself, and you're taking a risk that you're gonna get something that you didn't want. Uh, that's kind of the material part of Christmas instead of the emotional, the connection, meeting with family. But that is definitely one of the things I don't like.
I mean, that is valid. It's like because especially if you get something from your parents, like you don't want to seem like spoiled or entitled. So you gotta like it is just a very awkward and unfortunate moment when you get something you don't like, especially when you're younger.
Definitely.
So I mean, that's a valid point. That's a valid point.
All right, another one. This is personal. This one is personal. You're forced to take family photos. I absolutely hate taking family photos.
Okay, I mean the um again a little nitpicky. I mean, I don't really like photos either, but like it's a quick like depending on who's the photo taker and how big your family is, it's usually like it doesn't last too long.
I got a pretty big family. I got a niece. I got two nephews. The pictures are a nightmare.
Okay, I mean that is fair. That sounds very unfortunate and very time consuming and annoying. But like at the same time, I feel like it's not super arguable because it's not everyone. And
It's
like
yeah.
at the end of the
I
day,
would say
is
it's also not exclusive to Christmas.
I mean, yeah, that's not like a specific hatred towards Christmas. That's just like that's just one of the cons that come with the pros of Christmas.
I suppose.
All right,
Another
let me
one.
ask you. Let me ask you a
All right,
question.
go ahead. Go ahead. Shoot for the
What are your
stars.
pros of Christmas? What do you like about
What
Christmas?
I like about Christmas. Um, I like a break from school, I suppose.
That's valid. That's
Um,
probably one of the biggest W's.
I guess I like that most people are generally in a better mood around Christmas. There's a lot less negativity.
It's valid.
Um,
Part of the spirit of Christmas.
yeah,
Positive energy, the vibe.
I don't know. I'm not a big Christmas enjoyer. Those are the big
That's
ones for
all
me.
you like about Christmas?
I mean,
You don't like the food, you don't like
I'm not
getting
a big
gifts,
fan of the traditional Christmas meals.
you
I
don't
think
like being with the family.
honestly, no. I don't really like. I,
Okay.
I'm not a big family guy. I don't like. I mean, I'm not saying I dislike family, but I just don't love spending a ton of time with my family, especially when it's Christmas, where you're and with two separate households, you're spending a ton of time with family, and it just gets to get kind of old.
I mean, honestly, that sounds valid, but again, like a little specific to your situation. Because, I mean, obviously, we have a little different perceptions on Christmas and like different relationships with our family. But, I mean, it's a valid point, but
All right, well,
I don't.
I'm gonna counter your question here. And what are your negatives for Christmas?
What are my negatives for Christmas?
Yeah.
Uh, I would say I would say that the older you get, the more depressing Christmas gets. So, as for like when you were younger, it was so hyped and it was like such a big deal, but then slowly just like lessens the more you get older and you kind of just get reminded of how like much better time was back then, so then you just get depressed. So then it can be like if it doesn't live up to the hype or like throughout the years you may like lose family members too. So like Christmas just it doesn't go up. It goes down, and depending on what you do with your life, it could just stay down. Like
That's
it's
true.
never gonna be the same.
But I feel like I'm arguing against my own point here. But when you have like if you have kids, if you start a family, then it kind of would go up again later in
Well, I
life.
mean, yeah, that's what I mean by depending on your situation. But like, let's say you don't have kids, and let's say your parents pass at a normal time. You're just gonna be older with no kids, possibly no girlfriend, depending on who you are, and no parents. So Christmas would just be like a super depressing day.
That would be super depressing. One of my points was if you're single, it's depressing because you have to watch all the
That
other
is
couples.
valid. I mean, me, I was not single during these holidays, so
I
it was it
was.
was it was a
That's
pretty big W for me. Not gonna lie.
It was a pretty big
I
L for
mean,
me. It was my first time being single for the holidays
I
in a
mean, yeah, for
while.
sure. If I were to compare the two, being single is definitely worse, especially when you see the like cooler things couples are doing, or just like being together.
Yeah, you get a little bit of
Like that's rough.
FOMO. You feel like you're missing out.
Yeah. So I
Alright.
mean, I don't know. You know what? Maybe you're starting to change my opinion a little bit. It's Christmas is really depends on your situation
Yeah, and I've still
and
got
how
two
it's
more
brought up to.
points here.
All right. Let's get into those.
Alright, so my one that's really, really situational, and I've not experienced this, and I don't think you have either, but people with birthdays near Christmas can get hosed. They can just straight up they get screwed over a little bit.
You know, that's true. That's very true. I mean, I don't suffer with that. neither does really anyone in my family, but that would be very unfortunate.
Yeah, like my birthday is in beginning of February, so it's pretty close to Christmas, but I still haven't experienced this. But I know people that have their birthday on Christmas that it just kind of
Oh,
sucks.
that would suck. Cause like your day, it's not even just like about getting screwed over with like gifts and stuff. Like it's not even your day
Yeah, like you couldn't
at
like
that
if you
point.
wanted to celebrate on your birthday, you just can't because everyone's gonna be with their family celebrating Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. And then like, I mean, who knows? Depending on some of your close friends, might shoot you a happy birthday text, but it's just gonna be all Merry Christmas, you know,
Yeah,
like
the
this.
focus is not gonna be on you on your one
Yeah,
special day.
hmm which is very unfortunate. That would be unlucky. But again, a little bit of situational thing.
Mine I feel like is super situational, much more than the other ones.
Yeah, yeah.
And then my last one is if you're somewhere that's warm, nice weather, then you're missing out on the white Christmas experience, the snow, the typical Christmas that we expect.
Oh yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, personally, I really like the winter, and especially Christmas. Like when it snows, like the vibe is just very on point, very just good overall. It just feels very jolly. But I feel like on the other end of that, if you wake up in like Arizona, you look outside, you see the canyons, bro. Like that would just be unfortunate.
Exactly, it's not the real Christmas experience. And
Yeah.
then on the other side of that though is if you're somewhere cold like us. For some people, it's just way too cold. You're not gonna want to do fun stuff with your family outside. You're gonna be cooped up inside all day.
I
And then
mean, but at the same time, I kind of like that. I mean, obviously, I like going outside, maybe building a little snowman, maybe get a little jolly. But at the same time, just like picture you're with the family, you got Christmas sweaters on, you got a couple presents, you're excited to try out that night. There's some warm food, there's snacks, you got the fire on. It's just the vibe of being inside when it's snowy and cold out. That it's just unmatched.
you really did set up quite the situation. That does sound pretty pleasant.
That's gonna put you in a good mood right there.
I'm not gonna lie, those Christmas nights when you go back to the room and you get to just chill out and talk to your friends about what you guys all did. It does hit a little
God,
different.
those did hit. Telling your friends the new games you got, or when you were younger and Christmas around the time a new console came out and everyone got the new console on Christmas. Oh my,
Or bro, before we
that.
before we had phones and when everyone came back to school, and
Oh my, dude, that was
I remember being hyped to talk about my 3DS, man.
for real. And then you would always show up to school in a new fit that you got.
Always in a new fit.
Oh my god, it was the memories.
The memories do go stupid. It's another example of Christmas just not quite hitting the same as we grow up.
Yeah, like I was like we were saying, that kind of made me a little depressed. Like,
For real.
I mean, I'm happy reminiscing about the good memories, but it'll never be like that again.
It won't.
That was the peak of life right there.
I think that's definitely one of the situations where other holidays could triumph it. Like something like Valentine's Day, I feel like improves as you get a little bit older. You can celebrate it more. It becomes more personal.
I mean, I agree with that, but question for you, what holidays do you think rank above Christmas just overall?
Personally, I'm a massive Halloween enjoyer. I think Halloween is a great holiday.
You know what, that's fair. I really like Halloween too. That's definitely my second favorite holiday.
I don't think there's many people out there that have much against Halloween. Overall, it's a great holiday.
I
Uh,
mean, yeah, it's a fun holiday, you know. It's very like Christmas, everyone pretty much celebrates it, you know. Like you drive around at like 6 p.m. on Halloween, you're gonna see a ton of kids in costumes walking around trick or treating.
and I mean, who doesn't like dressing up and having fun, going to a party?
I mean, exactly. Like Halloween, it kind of like it's not like Christmas where it starts off immediately and falls off towards the end. It's like Halloween peaks during like the night and the later the day gets.
Yeah, and Halloween I feel like evolves as you get older instead of just kind of staying the same.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Halloween is a W holiday, but I mean, it does evolve, but like it's still at a really good point when you're young. Like being able to trick or treat. Like imagine a Halloween on a Friday night. You get done from school, you have your friends come over, you go trick or treating together, get a bunch of candy, you stay over after. Like
Oh, the
it's
candy
just a
trades
W.
after a night of trick or
The
treating.
candy trades, yes.
All right, another personal uh, favorite holiday of mine, a very slept on holiday in my opinion, July 4th. Great holiday. Yeah,
I would agree with that. I would agree
fireworks,
with that.
great weather, celebrating America.
I
And
agree, but it's not up there for me. I mean,
yeah,
I like the summer, but like it's kind of just like it's like a day you're celebrating, but like not really celebrating. Like
one
obviously you're celebrating America, but you know what I mean?
yeah
Like you're just
one
kind of like,
one thing that puts it above for me is the lake I have a cabin on. Every 4th of July, there's a massive boat parade around the whole lake, and people are like fighting with water guns and throwing water balloons and stuff like that.
that sounds like a big W right there. Because I mean, I've never experienced that. So going back to Christmas, like you experience Fourth of July different than I do, so it ranks higher in your eyes. But as for Christmas, I have a lot different Christmas that I enjoy, which you don't have. So
You might have to slide this year for the 4th of July celebrations.
maybe. All right, I think we're wrapping up now. In conclusion, I think, I mean, personally, my opinion has stayed the same. Maybe a little bit more thoughtful on other people's perception of Christmas.
I
You
would
know,
say I can understand why a lot of people enjoy Christmas so much, but my opinion has stayed relatively the same as well.
it's fair. That's fair. All right.